ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Walking with J-Bo. Today I'm going to do Woods Walk Gun Talk number 44. But I'm going to do kind of a combination thing, maybe something different, sort of. Is usually I don't record anything except the woods walk. And the problem is I want to get a 5-mile workout. And I always, when I'm inside the place where the woods are, where I like to walk, I have to walk further, walk more inside there to get my 5 miles. So I'm going to throw together kind of a combination. So I'm going to kind of take a circumvented route to where I'm going to walk. As it will add about a mile. Then I'll be able to get my 5 miles a lot easier. And I am wearing a head-mounted camera today, but I also have the backup camera on a selfie stick for in the woods. I really like how that worked the last time I did that. I don't do that for every walk. Now today it feels a lot more humid than it did yesterday. I did not check the dew points, but I can see haze in the hills. And it's not oppressively humid, that's for sure. And I think a lot of this haze might be the air quality warning that they gave for New Hampshire, mainly because of Canadian wildfires. So I don't know if that's what's going on. But I do know that it is in the upper 80s today. It is warm. But it doesn't feel too hot to be outdoors. That's my barometer of measure, I guess. So the other thing too is, you know, it's titled Woods Walk Gun Talk number 44 this week. That's what this is. We'll be getting to some woods shortly. And let's see if my dog friend is out here to eat me. May not be, but we'll see. Nope, not out here today. So anyway, what I was saying is, I know it's a Woods Walk Gun Talk video, but I don't always have a lot of gun stuff to talk about, and if I do, I'll save it for when we're in the woods. So, you know, I do have political topics to talk about. You know, like Cincinnati, where we saw that video of black people being racist violently towards white people. 2 white guys were getting beaten up for being white. A white woman was punched right in the face by a big black guy that was 6'4", 230 something. Knocked her out cold. Her face looked horrible. Looked like she got hit with a baseball bat. I'm sure she has concussion problems, memory issues, damage from that. And finally, due to public pressure, they made arrests. And, you know, Trump won Ohio decisively. There's no question about it. People want accountability, and despite the migrants eating dogs, according to Trump. And so they made arrests. The female police chief has come under fire because she didn't get on that right away. She didn't get on it until she was told to get on it, apparently. And people that do these crimes, it's a hate crime. This was done because they were white. That's racism. It shouldn't matter if it's a white person doing it to a black person doing it to a white person, an Asian doing it to a Hispanic. Doesn't matter. If you're assaulting somebody like that because of their race, color, or creed, then you should be arrested and charged, prosecuted. So arrests were made, but arrests made does not equate to justice being served, because Cincinnati, Ohio has the same problem every large city in the country has in every single state, red or blue. It is controlled by Democrats. They have successfully done that nationwide. Kudos to them for doing it, because if they hadn't, they would be non-existent right now, the entire Democratic Party. And I got a lot to talk about with Schumer later. So they have to be prosecuted fairly, honestly, and get the same kind of sentence white people would get for doing it to black people. It's the only way you're going to stop this stuff. Black people and other people of color have been told for too long by the media and Democrats that it's okay to be violent towards white people because they owe you restitution. You have every right to be angry. So that's where we got the whole reparations thing for slavery and all this other thing where white nationalism is oppressing the black people. Slavery is coming back, blah, blah, blah. So, none of that is true, obviously. So we're slowly starting to heal on that. And, hi. And it was nice that we had a vice president that actually said something about that yesterday, finally. And it's resonating. This is what people want. So, you know, we got to fix this stuff. Have to fix it. The only way to fix it is to hold everybody accountable equally. Equality. Real equality. Not far left extremist ideology equality, but actual real equality, equity. Punching somebody in the face is a crime. If you do it because of their race, well, there can be extra things added on to that, but basically there's already laws on the books, and punishing white people to the fullest extent of the law and then giving a slap on the wrist to, quote, people of color is not equity. It's the opposite of that. And some Democrats are realizing they're losing because of it, and they're trying to change. 5 years ago, these arrests would not have been made. This is what I'm saying. And Democratic Party has fallen so far that they don't know how to get out of the hole they're in. So you have a faction of the Democrats that are quadrupling down on stupid, and you have that same faction of Democrats quadrupling down on trans women and women's sports spaces, transitioning children, all of the stuff we hate, okay? Because it's bad, it's evil, it's not good. Still shocking that they even went that route in the first place. But they had to, because that's what the donors and the .orgs with the money demanded. Their think tanks, who use their consultants. See, Democrats hire consultants to see what they should promote or not promote. And they have all these woke ideological college graduates as consultants that have been brainwashed on woke for the last 20 years. And this is what they're doing. They're giving Democrats horrible advice. So that's what we're seeing. So it's going to take them a while to come out of it, but the problem I have is, you know, because they quadruple down on everything and they don't give it up because of their core constituency. Their core constituency wants all of Democrats to fight against Trump, even if it means they go to jail or if they have bloodshed. Some of them have stated. That's an actual news report. I'm not making that up. Voters want Democrats to fight against Trump and Republicans, who they are saying are Nazis and fascists. And unfortunately, stupid people like New York's Chuck Schumer, who is very stupid, by the way, is doing that. He is blocking every nominee for Trump, everyone that they can. To the point where Chuck Schumer was calling Donald Trump at the White House, trying to bribe Donald Trump, saying if you release $1 billion into the agencies and things that you have cut, we'll give you some votes for nominees. And Trump today told him to go to hell. Said it was congressional extortion, which it is, and told them to go to hell. So Senator Majority Leader John Thune, who replaced Mitch McConnell, thankfully, is no saint by any means. He's not a MAGA person. I don't think he's entirely rhino either, even though today on social media you would think that he has double-crossed Trump and America by selling out and okaying congressional recess for a month of August and coming back in September. The reality is, I'll explain this very carefully. First of all, I'm going to say I am not 100% sold on John Thune, but from a managerial standpoint, you have to understand Mike Johnson can be more far right in Congress because he has 218 people to work with, and John Thune has 53, 2 senators from each state, and you absolutely have to work with all of them to get anything done. That includes caving a little bit to Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins to get something for your state that you want so you can get reelected. So therein lies the problem. You absolutely have to be more in the middle in the Senate, which pisses MAGA off. They want MAGA, I mean, and I'll get to MAGA in a minute. MAGA wants far-right complete control over everything, and you're not going to get that with the Senate. Not even close, never. Not unless you had a super majority, which we don't have. That's the truth of it. When you have to pass things with 50 votes, it's a struggle. But then, when you have to pass things with 60 votes, and you have Schumer absolutely blocking everything, nothing will get done, and the radical left Democrat voters, that's what they want. Not all liberal voters, but the radical core leftist progressives want that. So that's what they want. Chuck Schumer is giving it to him. This is the most the Democrats have ever blocked any Republican president, ever. Usually they will give the opposing party a few nominees just for the sake of the country, ambassadorships, and Chuck Schumer is all of it, without question. Doesn't matter what it is, they're going to obstruct and delay everything. So John Thune says, and he will do this after being accused of being a rhino and betraying Trump, which is what the far-right MAGA is doing now on everything. Now that we have won and we have control, every little thing is being micromanaged by the far right to our own detriment. There's goods to that and there's bad to that. The good is it lets Republican leadership know that they're not going to get away with anything they've done in the past. But at the same time, it also shows that the ones that are not far right, how far right they are or not so far right. But basically, at the end of the day, he doesn't have very many people in the Senate to work with. And he said when they come back in September, they are going to change the rules of the Senate on how nominees are passed to make it more non-bipartisan, because they have to. Schumer is not going to cave on this at all. He thinks the best thing for Democrats is to just obstruct everything. When that didn't work for them before. So they're trying to cancel Trump, and they don't have the majority in Congress. They think this is going to win them midterms. And Chuck Schumer has come out and has been blatantly lying. I know, big shocker, right? Blatantly lying about things. Like the one big beautiful bill is hurting the economy. Not true. The economy is stymied. Not true. So he's not even admitting economic facts that have come out. Now that stock market guy, Kramer, on CNBC got himself in trouble this week. He's talking about Jerome Powell not cutting interest rates. And he went on a rant and said the economy is booming. Growth is incredible. And he literally said live on the air, "What the fuck, Powell?" In other words, why are you insisting on not cutting interest rates? It would make it easier for people to get in their homes, into homes, with a better interest rate. Sell more cars. It would help the economy, make it easier to get a loan. So he had to issue an apology for swearing on the air, which he did. But because he did, people noticed what he said. So anyway, regardless, I mean, this is an absolutely incredible time with so much change that has happened and is still happening. And we're going to watch it all happen. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to cut across here. Get that old wagon in there. There's even an old cannon in there. Wow. That's pretty cool. So Chuck Schumer is going full frontal obstruction, cancel culture by canceling Trump as much as he can as a minority member, hoping that they win midterm elections and get the majority back. I think a lot of people that are Democrats are starting to realize that tariffs and Trump policies are working. And they are about to get very desperate because they are working. Now, the person responsible for these jobs reports has been fired. And I'm glad she was, because she was getting it wrong before Trump was elected. So whether she was doing it on purpose to help Biden and hurt Trump in the election, which was to help Kamala, or Mamala as she's called, whatever the reason, really doesn't matter. She's been wildly wrong about everything. So she needs to go regardless. Whether she's being nonpartisan or not, she's not doing her job. So, if anything, you should be okay with it just for that reason alone. We need to have reliable people. It affects the stock market, it affects hiring, it affects everything. So, now we're going to head up this way a little bit, and we're going to veer off into the woods up ahead. So I hope you're enjoying walking with me. And yes, this is their motorcycle. This is Woods Walk Gun Talk number 44, like the Magnum, which is a firearm I really like a lot, more so in lever action. But I also like it in revolver. in a revolver, but I prefer it in a ported barrel. I believe the ported barrel is much more manageable. You don't have that wild, ridiculous recoil you get with the Blackhawk, the Ruger. Basically, the Ruger 44, the Blackhawk, is a pistol that a lot of older Americans like because it's nostalgic, for one thing, and also with that wild recoil, it's something at the range that gets noticed by people standing next to you at the range, and it's kind of a novelty. And I know some Blackhawk aficionados are going to hate me for saying that, but when you have a handgun that's difficult to hold on to and you have to focus more even when you're experienced, it's not a good combination. And in my honest opinion, we own a Taurus 44 Magnum with a ported barrel. Now, there's a lot of argument about how much steam you lose with a ported barrel, but it's ported at the end of the barrel, and it's negligible. I've shot both. I've shot the Ruger Blackhawk. I'll just say it's wildfire. I didn't like it. Didn't like it. Didn't care for it. Too much recoil, and didn't care for it. The Taurus 44 Magnum stainless steel was a joy to shoot because of the ported barrel. Now, I would not want a ported barrel for 357 because it's not necessary, but on a 44, it was necessary, in my opinion, of course. And that's all this is. So we're going to be veering off into the woods, not where we usually go in up ahead here, but further up to the main gate. Bird there almost got hit by a car, it looked like. Still not sure what that was. That looked like, well, it was pretty big, but it wasn't as big as an eagle. But it looked like it might have been a young eagle that hasn't molted into its white head yet, because that looked like a big bird, and that was not a turkey. And it was not one of those turkey vultures either. I'll watch the video again when I get home, even though it's going to be further away than with the naked eye because of the camera lens. But that was definitely a large bird. So we're going to enter Thorn Crag Nature Sanctuary. Open dawn till dusk. So we're going to go for a woods hike now. For Woods Walk Gun Talk number 44. So once we get into the woods here, I got to talk about somebody influential who is MAGA, a MAGA Republican, who has not become political in her statements online. this is the way it's done now. So usually we come out this way when we finish, but we're going to enter this way. Going to do some woods walking. Probably have some skeeters to deal with. We have at least 3 vehicles here, so there will be somebody in here today. So we'll see what we run into in here today. You get the sign here. Beware, we do have deer ticks at Thorn Craig. No kidding. No kidding. Birds eat them though. So here we go, Woods Walk Gun Talk number 44. I want to talk about the blonde girl in the jeans ad. Sydney Sweeney, that's her name. Sydney Sweeney is a phenom coming on. She's getting very popular, and she's getting even more popular because she is unwoke. Unwoke meaning she's not a leftist. First thing you'll notice about her is she was on the show Lotus, which is a big hit, and they're going to be forced to make a decision because a lot of leftists watch that show and like that show, and they're going to be very upset. But here's the thing, I think people know now that there is a certain smaller faction of radical leftists that get upset with things and try to get people canceled, fired. So they're going to try to get her fired, canceled from Hollywood. Thing is she's too talented, too pretty, and too sexy. Because not only is she pretty, sexy, and talented, she's also smart. She's not an idiot. And they don't like that. So they have already gone after her for being a Nazi, a white supremacist. Their same old tactic they always use when you don't go along with the left. Because she's doing ads for American jeans, and I had never heard of American jeans until she spoke up and said that she loves her jeans, and they cross out the word jeans and put the word jeans, saying that she has good genes. That's in jeans you wear. Well, the left is talking about eugenics, Nazi ideology. She's a Nazi. And of course, the left is doubling down on everything that lost everything for them. I'll wait till these people go by. Hi, how are you?
Good, you?
Not too bad. So we'll head up this way. The other interesting characteristic of Sydney Sweeney is she's one of the few people her age that don't have a single damn tattoo that I can see anyway. And she looks like a woman. She's got boobs. Men notice her boobs. She's feminine. She doesn't have blue hair, nose rings, face jewelry, tattoos, proclaiming that she's non-binary. None of that crap. So, glory, hallelujah, normal is back. And the best thing is the jeans company is doubling down and saying, basically, forget how they worded it, but basically what they were saying is, we make jeans for everybody, which is what you should do. Woke, unwoke, semi-woke. In other words, if you're non-binary, lesbian, gay, LGBT, trans, whoever, we make jeans for everybody. That was the best approach they took. They didn't make any statements about woke. They didn't make any statements about anything. Our jeans are for everybody. That's what we need. Common sense. I got a good sweat going today. Definitely more humid today. So, I am not familiar with Sydney Sweeney, but if I see her in a movie or TV show, I will be supportive. I would be supportive of her if she was on the left, because you can be on the left or right and just do your job without the rhetoric and the bullshit. So we're gonna go this way. Mosquitoes are out right now everywhere in Maine. If you stop walking, you get attacked. So in other words, if Robert De Niro and these other people on the left hadn't gone out of their way to let us know that they were on the left and told us how evil and awful we were for being on the right, I would still enjoy De Niro's movies. I can't watch the guy. It's impossible. Impossible. Cannot do it. And then you have people like Sylvester Stallone, Mark Wahlberg, who are obviously on the right side, on the right. But they don't run around saying that's what they are. Sylvester Stallone started to recently, now that he's 70 plus years old. And he's a film producer now. And he has more leverage when you have your own studio and things like that, making movies, which is also good, because they're not going to put out stupid garbage catering to one political belief. And you know, it's not his fault if you put out a patriotic movie about America and you show the flag and patriotism. It's not his fault if the left tries to say that's white supremacy. May as well be the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag. You know, Sylvester Stallone cannot control that. So, you know what's amazing is how different these woods look compared to how the woods looked down by the ocean. Down by the ocean, they were a lot thicker. They had a lot more low-lying and it was because it was low-lying on the coast, kind of swampy, different environment, salt water. So the trees were different, everything is different. So very interesting, I thought. So we'll get our miles in here. I've already walked 2 miles, and that's why I wanted to do that short walk before coming in here, so I don't have to worry so much about getting my 5 miles by walking over the same ground over and over. I don't feel like doing that today, but I want my 5 miles. So when we're done in here, I am going to stop at a store and get a gallon of milk on the way home, because I need some milk. So I did something today I usually don't do. I brought my wallet with me. And why do I not bring my wallet with me on hikes? Because I don't feel like hiking 5 miles and then going, oh crap, where's my wallet? And then having to backtrack, hoping it's still there. And some friggin' raccoon or chipmunk didn't run off with it to make a nest. Some kind of bedding for their nest or something, you know? Because it's a real leather wallet. If you hear me slapping my head, it's because of mosquitoes and black flies. Black flies are out too, especially down this part I'm going to be walking through. It's kind of swampy, but after we come out of there, it should be a little better. So I just hit 2.5 miles, which is good. That's what I wanted. I'll get 5 miles easily today without having to spend the whole day in here. So if you hear me slapping myself in the head, it's not because I have mental illness. It's because I hear things buzzing around my head. You can hear a lot of squirrels and chipmunks in the woods rustling around. So I really hope you enjoyed yesterday's walk, which I just made live, and the algorithm already told me the song at the beginning violates their copyright, despite the fact I downloaded it from a copyright-free website. I'm not going to change it. All it says is we're not going to block your video, and we're not going to put a strike on your account, but that specific video will not make money if I become monetized. Well, that's fine with me. So hello.
Hi.
Let's see if we can get down this hill without slipping on pine needles. This trail right here is kind of difficult in the winter time when we have ice. I think I've only fallen once, and I was not, I don't think I was uploading video then. I don't think I was. If I was, then, you know, whatever. I don't recall having that part. I might have cut that out. But I would not do that now. If I slipped and fell now, it would be one of those things where it would probably hurt. But at the end of the day, it would be kind of funny that I fell, and I would put it on the video, which basically is, you would see me walking like this, and then you would see whew, the sky like real quick. So, whew, This is the mosquito area. Well, this whole thing down here is usually flooded. And I am not seeing that flooding. And the mosquitoes are hungry, so I think they're trying desperately to get some blood. So I gotta keep moving or I'm gonna get eaten. Mosquitoes are pretty thick right now. Surprises me because there hasn't been very much water, and I'm guessing for some reason that's why they're hungry. I don't know if it's a genetic thing where they sense there's a drought, which I guess there is a drought right now. We don't have any rain forecast for the next 10 days. Every day looks like 80 to 85 degrees with sunshine and some clouds, which does not break my heart because I'm sure this fall we're going to make up for it. Sometimes we have very rainy falls here. A couple of years ago we had record rainfall, and then last year we dried up. It was the driest year since the year 2000, and that's what it's been like this year. It's been kind of medium, but for the most part we've had rain just on the weekend, which makes people notice it more, but we've really not had much rain. So when you come out where the sun is, the bugs disappear. So we're going to do a 360 on the orange trail. Now we're going to walk because I heard a mosquito swarming in on me. It's like that song Heat Seeker by AC/DC. That's mosquitoes. Heat Seeker. They should have had a giant mosquito on the cover. So we're making our way through the political landscape. Now, yesterday's walk by the ocean, I didn't talk about any politics at all, and that was good. The only reason why I talk about them on these walks is because I walk the same routes all the time, basically the same 6 or 8 from what I've counted. And you know, while this is a Woods Walk Gun Talk, it is not typically easy to maintain a conversation about firearms for a complete hour and a half unless you are Paul Harrell. I had to put my Bluetooth back together. Paul Harrell was very interesting to listen to, and I'm not. So he could talk for hours just about primers, Bird-An primers, different Anvil primers. But I'm not as interesting or as well versed, and I don't know as much about firearms as some people may think, because I think I speak well, but I'm always open and honest and say I am not an expert in firearms. Will never claim to be. I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. And I don't pretend that I know about something I don't. That doesn't mean I won't make a misstatement once in a while. We're only human, after all. And for one of those people that like to just be on YouTube to go around correcting everybody. That's fine if you do it constructively, but a lot of times they give me credit without trying to. And the reason why I say that is because of how I speak, and we have a pretty decent video quality now on the channel, that they will assume that it is a monetized quote channel. And this is just the impression I get, because they go from the personal attacks directed directly towards me to talking to other people replying to my channel. So you have different types of repliers. You have ones that are trying to tear your channel down, either because they're jealous, which is usually the case. And I mean that where if you're on there shooting at 1927, 1945, 45 ACP, 1927 Tommy gun carbine, which they are expensive. And we do have one. And it's an absolute joy to shoot, even though friggin' thing weighs literally 20 pounds or so. When fully loaded with a drum magazine of just 50 rounds, it's actually over 20 pounds. It's a very heavy gun. In fact, there's videos of police motorcycles that have the guns mounted on the handlebars, and the officer is driving the motorcycle with that to wherever they need it for military style action, because it's so damn heavy to hold. And I would imagine it was detachable. I don't know much about those, but the point being, they were very heavy, and they were slimmed down quite a bit for World War II with the bar model and the regular short-barreled Tommy gun made for combat with stick mags. And I will tell you honestly, the stick mags are much better, easier to change. The drum magazine, you need a special tool, which is a third hand, it's called, to hold it in place. And it's not something quick and easy to do. Neither is loading the magazine. And the magazines themselves are $400 easy. So they're expensive, and some of these people come on the channel and they see quality kit and they get jealous. That's what it is. So you can always tell those, because instead of insulting me directly, they will talk to you guys replying to the videos. This guy here doesn't know what he's talking about. This guy is a joke. And on other videos, they will talk directly to me if it's a mistake made about a magazine or magazine company, maybe the way I pronounce something. That's somebody's favorite complaint. They like to criticize mistakes you make. And I have to tell you, that is extremely annoying. I don't do that with other channels or other people online. I don't do that when discussing politics online. There's no need to reply to somebody like, you're an idiot. Everyone knows this, that, or the other thing. This guy is a joke. When you make a comment like that, why do you think it's going to stay there, for one thing? And then why do you think you're not going to get blocked for making it? So I don't need to read that crap. You know, monetized channels leave those comments there because you're making them money when you do that. So if somebody makes a derogatory comment and he gets 112 replies out of it, well, he's getting ad revenue from that sharing because he's monetized. And I don't, so I'm not going to leave it there. I'm just not. In fact, if I was monetized, I would probably make a couple of videos on purpose to irritate people like that, so they would come by and complain about it. Kind of do it as a dark humor thing. Hickok 45 does that a lot. Oh, you thought I was not joking there. You know, he does that a lot in his videos, and that's why. It gets these people that only watch the first minute and they can't wait to complain about something, and they don't watch the whole video. And they've been monetized for a while and they know how everything works. And that's how that works. So anyway, I thought I would share that stuff with you. So the other thing about Sydney Sweeney, that people, you know, they had to go. Now, she didn't say this herself, okay? People had to go, especially the media, because now there's a controversy with somebody about jeans being on the right, Nazism, white supremacy, gotta get Trump, that mentality. Now that somebody has mentioned that, and they saw that ad that talks about jeans, G-E-N-E-S, instead of jeans, Sydney Sweeney has good genes, and then they cross out the word jeans and put jeans, like jeans you wear. If you're under a rock and you haven't seen the advertisement yet. So ever since then, the doxing crowd, mainly the leftist media and blogs and vlogs and everything else, are out to get her. And they dug up the fact that she registered as a Republican in 2024. And somebody else also found some info that for her mother's 60th birthday party, she had hats made for, I don't recall, is that a new trail? She had birthday hats made that said "Make 60 Great Again," that looked like MAGA hats. So obviously she is a MAGA Republican, and now that is out, even though she hasn't said it herself. She's not talking about politics. She's not saying anything. She's just making jean ads and being in a TV show. So that's the way you have to do things, because if she comes out and makes a stand for, well, the left wokeism has trans women in men's sports, so we need to get rid of that. If she comes out and makes a statement like that, she's alienating fans. And I think you should just do your craft, have your beliefs. And it's kind of hard, because when you become a celebrity, then everybody wants you to speak. They want you to choose a cause. So I think what she should do is find causes that she can support that helps that, without having to come out and say that. She can maybe promote common sense. Maybe she could just come out and say, we need to unite as a country, and we need to promote common sense. We need to talk with one another, and we need to stop fighting. Because that covers everything. That covers the gambit. And that's the reason why we have the cancel culture stuff going on. And the reason why we have kids being indoctrinated in schools, because if you speak up, you can get canceled. So, which means most of the time, if you're not famous, getting canceled means fired from your job in the school. So that's what they've been doing. And that's really unfortunate. It really is. We're not going to head down to that field and look at the whale today. I'm going to hang a right, and we're going to go up the hill here, and we got the Whale Rock and hungry mosquitoes. We have hungry mosquitoes out here today. And because of the mosquitoes, I am taking my Bluetooth off. I'm going to put it in my pocket because I keep having to slap myself in the head, and it is disconnecting my battery from the headset, which is not good. So anyway, she registered as a Republican, and now the left has an excuse, and they're going to try to cancel her. But everything woke turns to shit. So this is new right here. They've added a new trail, a green one, that cuts across to where we just were, which is where we saw those two people. It's the first time I ever see this trail, and I've been through here often, as you know. So that is brand new, part of the green trail. Goes from green to green. It's just which is good because a lot of turkeys and deer cut through here. So I'm actually glad they did that. All right. Well, that's something new and different. So we're going to head up the hill here. So the other thing I want to talk about is split MAGA. Split MAGA. We have some that are so far been actually a detriment now that we have won everything. They are actually criticizing every single thing the Republicans do. They're criticizing everything Trump does. They want Trump to be what they want him to be, without understanding how things work and how much has been corrupted in DC. So Trump's doing a good job. Looks like they might be starting another trail here, but that looks more like a trough that they cut to filter water off that runs through here, which we haven't had. Really haven't had any water. Now up ahead here, I'm going to switch to the selfie view for a few minutes, just to say hi and talk a little bit. Yesterday, walking in the woods by the ocean, I was carrying the camera, and today I didn't want to carry anything. See? It's a very steep hill that goes for a while. We'll be at the top soon. Whew, sorry for the breathing, but it's necessary. Whew. Oh my goodness. Well, if I drop dead, you'll know why. Hello, my friends. Whew. I'm not dead yet. I'm going to sit down for a minute and hope I don't get too devoured. Hello, my friends. I am definitely very soaked with sweat. Very warm today. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying the walk today, and I hope you enjoyed yesterday's video in Harpswell, Maine, by the ocean. That was nice to go smell some salt air and get some fresh air. And when the tide went out, smelling how the low tide smells, there's really no smell in the world that smells like that. It smells almost like something that smells rotten, but it's not. It's kind of unusual. It's hard to describe. It smells good, but it doesn't smell good. If you've smelled what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. But it was definitely nice. I enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the video I uploaded. It was a very short trail, I will say that, and so we made the best of it. Did not have a beach to walk on, but a few miles past that point, about 6 or 7 miles up the road from where I was, there is a beach that you can go on. I'm assuming, I'll look online, but I think it's a public free beach on the ocean. We might go check that out sometime. It's not far, a few miles from here, but it's not a big drive at all. About 18 miles, 20 miles. So it takes about a half hour to 40 minutes to get there, because the speed limit is 35, 40, 45. A couple spots it goes up to 50. But it takes a little longer to get there, but it's a short distance. So anyway, once in a while I can hear mosquitoes buzzing around. I'll pat myself down. I literally have water running down my arms. So it's definitely more humid today than yesterday. Yesterday was very nice, and some humidity has come in for sure, absolutely. But it's not oppressive yet. Whatever that was, I killed it. So, I was going to go down to the whale over here, and because I figured those raspberries I saw last time were all ready and ripe. I could be feasting on raspberries right now, but I do not feel like walking that extra distance there and going through that field. So anyway, a lot of these bugs are after the sweat on my face, the salt. And I am very sweaty. So I just wanted to sit down for a minute there and say hi to everybody. I think I'll carry it like this for a little bit. I turned the one off on my head. This is pretty stable to carry. And this one does not extend as far as the previous one, so the volume will be better on this one too.
Distance 3.5 miles.
3.5 miles.
1 hour 12 minutes 50 seconds.
My pocket told me we did 3.5 miles. So I'm going to take it up to 4, and then I will probably exit this place. And I got to go buy some milk. I'm doing a wallet check. Always check your pockets to make sure you didn't lose anything. I do that once in a while. I got the batteries, spare batteries, and I have my house keys. So anyway, hope you've been enjoying these Woods Walk gun talks. This is number 44, and that's because we have done 44 of these. Pretty clever, huh? And the last one we did was July 13th, about 20 days ago. So do some once in a while. This will be a nice walk through here this fall, like it is every fall. And come here in the winter sometimes if it's not below zero. And it's enjoyable, relaxing. I've had a very relaxing weekend walking in the woods, getting fresh air. And yeah, I can get eaten by some mosquitoes, but it comes with it. It's not like that year round. Just July and August, pretty much. So anywhere that the canopy of the trees blocks the sunlight, the mosquitoes come out from their little hiding places. I just love getting outdoors, I really do. It's a lot of fun. And that sun is starting to look hazy. I can hear the bugs. So when I hit 4 miles, I'm out of here. And there are some people coming. Older couple. They're swatting bugs on their head too. Hello. Skeeters are hungry today. My shirt is soaked. My arms are soaked. My face is starting to dry off a little now that I'm forcing air on it. So, kind of taking an easy route today. I just wanted to talk about a few things and walk in the woods and add a new video to the Woods Walk Gun Talk. Gun Talk. Saw a couple videos today on the Canik Rival S stainless steel pistol. Absolute. People love that pistol, and I do too. That's probably my favorite one that we have. Canik Rival S. What a joy to shoot that is. Whew. Very manageable recoil. You can triple tap easily. Some people have difficulty doing that. And for a gun talk, here's something I wanted to talk about for a minute. A lot of people seem to buy a pistol, they watch some videos. Oh, the recoil's great. J-Bo on his Woods Walk says the Rival S recoil is so manageable, you can shoot 3 times really quickly in a row and get bullseyes. Well, there's really no other way to say it. If you can't do that with other pistols, buying the Rival S is not going to make you a better shooter. There's no pistol in the world that aims for you, adjusts your grip for you, acquires sights for you. Pistols are a tool for the person who has the skill to use it. So there is an expression where it'll make you a better shooter. I don't believe that, and I'll use a guitar analogy for that. Jimmy Page, arguably one of the world's most famous guitar players, used inexpensive Telecasters in the recording studio, a working man's guitar, and he also used Dan Electros, which were basically cheap $200 guitars from composite bodies, aka plastic, Bakelite, economical guitars, but they have a cool sound. So when you listen to songs like Kashmir, that's not his Les Paul that you see him playing on stage that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is cheap guitars. So I guess what I'm saying is, you can either shoot or you can't shoot. Another pistol is not going to help you get better groupings. It can, and the reason why I say that is, if you are a skilled shooter, you'll be able to see how much better groupings will be with a specific ammo, specific handgun. But the handgun itself is not going to take somebody who's a mediocre shooter with a poor grip, and they'll shoot better. There's no gun in the world that's going to help you like that. You have to be able to learn how to shoot. So if your gun is hopping around in your hand, jumping all over the place, and you're having a hard time triple tapping or double tapping, it's you, not the gun. Within reason. There's some guns that have very vicious recoil, like the Ruger Blackhawk 44 Magnum. To be able to shoot that, you know, and even in the movies, when you see Dirty Harry shooting it, he's not shooting real loads. He's shooting the equivalent of cowboy loads, and they're blanks. So, even when you go see John Wick films, Keanu Reeves, who's very good with shooting, okay? They train with squib loads, and then when they shoot live ammo, they're shooting underpowered live ammo training, because you don't really get any recoil from blanks when you're filming. So they want them to be able to hit targets though, and a lot of times they're using frangible ammo, and it's underpowered. So they load the gun with a special spring, recoil spring, that has a lighter, doesn't take as much for the recoil. If you shot a regular bullet in it, it would probably slam the gun so hard it might break something. So it is specifically made for the movies, okay? So they look really great on screen doing it, and Keanu Reeves does have gun skills. Mad skills, he's good. But anybody can be good like that with the loads that he's shooting, okay? I guess that's what I'm saying. Now, Sydney Sweeney, the girl I was just talking about, I saw a video clip of her at that same range. Now, this is a movie company owned shooting range for training actors. And what they do is they set up the targets to shoot at that is going to be in the movie, where you're shooting people or you're shooting something you're going to shoot. They'll have targets set up to be the same as the movie. So they practice that same routine over and over again. Hit this twice, that 3 times, this 6 times, come back, hit this twice. They rehearse that over and over and over again. So then when you see a clip, they have done this a few thousand times over and over and over again until they perfect it to get those shots in the movie. So when you see a clip of it, it's like, oh, they just showed up that day and they're shooting at random targets. Wow, look how great they are. They hit everything right in the middle. And well, they've been practicing with that same setup for a while. And when they first started shooting, Keanu Reeves was he was new to firearms. So he learned how to shoot to look good in the movies. And I guess now he likes them and he shoots a lot. But that girl, Sydney Sweeney, I was telling you about, Well, I saw a clip of her at that same range. And she's being trained, obviously, for a movie she's going to be in. So she's going to be in an action film shooting guns. And she's a Republican. I guess she's doing well. And the clip I saw, she looks like she can handle guns. So that's going to be the real deal. She looked to me like she has experience with firearms before doing that, I guess is what I'm saying. So the bottom line is you're not going to buy a handgun that's going to make you stop missing the target, and to stop jerking the trigger, and to stop doing this or that, or having a loose grip.
4 miles. Time 1 hour 24 minutes 10 seconds.
Now they do have things to help you out, wrist things on your wrist that you can help you hold the gun if you have neurological issues or things like that. But what I'm saying is, if you're specifically going to buy a gun to make you a better shooter, it's a misnomer. It's not going to help you do that. I've seen too many people with $2,000 and $3,000 Gibson Les Pauls who still can't play fucking guitar. I mean, it's not going to make you a better player, I guess is what I'm saying. Hope that makes sense. So you need to practice. You need to practice, practice, practice. Very importante. As we got more people going by here. I'm gonna walk through here carefully. Hi, how are you?
Good, you?
Not too bad. So I'm gonna head down this way through here. I got a shoe that's starting to get loose. I don't feel like tying it right now. It's not untied, it's just getting loose. Less mosquitoes over here. So anyway, this might do it for selfie view. I'll turn it back on and add a couple words when I'm done walking in here and wrap up this video. But for now, I'm going to switch back to the head camera. This is what I do. I push it one time and it turns on, starts recording. So I can also have it voice activated. All right, my friends, we're back to the head cam, walking through here. And we got our 4 miles in. And I gotta find a place to tie my boot. Find a spot down here to tie my boot. I'll use this rock. Oh yeah, rock and roll. Bend your old bones and back down there to tie your shoe. My old bones. Might as well do the other one too while I'm here, so they feel equal. There we go. All right, my friends, let's walk our way out of here. I gotta go buy some milk. Container of milk, a loaf of bread, and a stick of butter. A container of milk, a loaf of bread, and a stick of butter. Hopefully you remember what that's from. So anyway, as always, we had some good convo in here today. And I approve of Sydney Sweeney. How's that? And she's pretty hot too. And she's hot because she's not a left idiot. She's not covered in tattoos. She doesn't look dirty. She looks clean, wholesome, and American, like Farrah Fawcett used to. That sort of thing. She was brought up right. Good parents, apparently. So if she comes out in a movie, I might be inclined to go see it, show some support. All right, a lot less mosquitoes down here. Mosquitoes. Even though there's a body of water down here. Isn't that odd? It's like you get water down here, there's less mosquitoes. There was more mosquitoes, but there wasn't any water. But they are born and bred in water, so I am confused by that. And I usually walk around this thing when I come in here, so I guess I will. Get this thing here to walk across. It's all mud. That's all mud down there. See how that pool is just drying up. Dried up quick too, because you can see that it did have some water in here. We had a day of rain a few days ago, and nothing since, not even thunderstorms. And we're not going to get any rain for a while, not even thunderstorms, I'm guessing. Personally, I don't believe it. We usually get some kind of activity. The East Coast has had some major rainfall. I mean, look at this right here. Usually that water is right up against this dam flowing through, and there's a brook running. But that is all dried up. I have never seen it this dry. Not ever. Climate change! Booga booga booga! Oh, I'm sorry, little chipmunk. I didn't mean to scare you. But we got water not running through here now. That was. We're drying up. You have come with me plenty of times here, and this same shot right here had a brook running underneath. Not today. It's all dried up. So we're going to walk on through this way and walk out of the park. This will be the last part of the walk today. It was a good walk and a good talk. And go buy some stuff. Mainly milk. My mission is milk. Boy, that was so nice at the ocean yesterday. Really was. And you know, should do that more often, because like I said, it's not far. Doesn't really take a lot of gas. Price of gas is coming down. Makes it easier to go to places for some folk. So if you can get out to the ocean, go out and check it out. Even if it's a 40, 50, 60 mile drive for you, it's worth the trip. Visit a couple local shops, eat somewhere in a restaurant, and enjoy. Get out and see things with cheaper gas prices. I know one thing that feels good for me right now is my stamina. I got my stamina primed right now. What the fuck is that? What is that? Oh. That's a woman having very animated discussion. Right? That's a woman having a very animated discussion. She's wearing a head-to-toe dress and a hijab. And she's talking to some guy holding a camera. So I don't know what they're doing here. So I'm going to head over to the gazebo. And I'll say my gazebo goodbye for you today. And I sincerely hope you've enjoyed walking with Jabo today on the Woods Walk Gun Talk number 44. So thank you for being with me today on this Woods Walk Gun Talk number 44. And I'll pick a spot over here. And I want to say thank you very much for walking with me and enjoying nature and being alive, having a good time. Good chance to reflect on things and to think and to be thankful for what you have. So, again, check out the walk I did at the Harpswell Skull Field Preserve, and it was a really nice view of the ocean and that cove there. So check out that video. Hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching this one. And we will see you on the next Walking with Jabo and the next Woods Walk Gun Talk, which will be number 45. Today was number 44. So peace, everybody. God bless you. Say a prayer for Trump and the country, and just keep praying for good things to happen for America. It's America is being repaired right now, and it feels good. So support the people that support common sense, like Sydney Sweeney and Mark Wahlberg and Sylvester Stallone and a whole bunch of other people coming out of the weeds of cancel culture. I think the days of Roseanne Barr being fired for being MAGA and supporting Trump have gone by. I think there's been a lot of atrocities that have happened, and in the end it hurt the left, because Americans don't like that. They just don't, and some of them are still learning the hard way, and they will. That's just how it's going to be. They're going to have to crash and burn. Democrats are rock bottom right now, the lowest approval rating they have ever had, ever. And they're doubling down on everything. So you try to explain it to me. I just don't think they know how to do anything else at this point, because they've been doing it for 20 years plus, getting to where they are. It crescendoed and then it crashed. So that's what happened. So anyway, everybody, we'll see you on the next walk. God bless you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for thinking my videos are interesting enough to watch, even for 5 minutes. Really appreciate it. I'm not monetized, so I just enjoy your company. See you in the next video, my friends. Bye-bye now.